Well, the weather outside is frightful, but inside Marcus Pavilion, my friends, it is downright delightful. And there's just about no better place to watch some college hoops than right here in Marcus Pavilion on the campus of St. Martin's University. Well, good evening and happy holidays, everybody. And thank you for tuning in on a blustery, wet, and wintry Saturday evening for the final home broadcast of Saints men's basketball in 2021. I'm Jeff Lucero. Happy to be here with you for the live broadcast from Marcus Pavilion tonight. My broadcast partner, Austin Burns, is in the building, but due to some holiday staffing shortages within the department, he is needed elsewhere once again tonight, so I am flying solo on the call for this one. Our game this evening pits the Saints against a largely unfamiliar foe from north of the border tonight, the Douglas College Royals, out of the Pac-West Conference, but not the one that we're more familiar with, composed of schools in California. Rather, this is the Canadian Pac-West. The Royals hail from New Westminster, British Columbia, giving tonight's matchup an international flavor. We'd also like to welcome in any Royals fans tuning in from across the border tonight. Very nice to have you along for the broadcast as well. We'll talk matchup shortly, but first, we've got to talk about the home team. And for the Saints, they come into tonight's game just chock full of holiday cheer, riding the high of a 3-game winning streak, the most recent of those coming at the expense of their crosstown rivals from the Evergreen State College 1 week ago tonight. If you tuned in or joined us in person for the 2021 edition of the Capital Classic, you got to see exactly what this team is capable of, especially across their past 2.5 games. Leading 25-21 with 8 minutes left in the first half, the Saints went absolutely berserk, ripping off an 18-0 run over the next 4 minutes that helped cement a 52-29 halftime lead. In the second half, it was, well, more of the same, just wholesale offensive destruction. The Saints pushed the lead out to as many as 36 halfway into the second frame on the strength of a 26-13 run. The lead still sat at 34 in the game's waning moments before settling into a decisive, nearly wire-to-wire 95-66 win over the Gooey Ducks. A number of dudes showed out in this game for the Saints. Even in the interest of brevity, I still need to spotlight 4 of them. First up, let's kick off with Brett Reed. After taking a back seat in the Saints' previous 2 games, he clearly felt it was time to reestablish himself. He was already in double figures halfway through the first half and finished the game with 19 points, but those all came in just 15 minutes on the floor. And speaking of offensive efficiency, what do you know about Christian Hafner? Dude has been living good from beyond the arc, and last Saturday's game was no exception. He finished with a team-high 20 points, 18 of those coming, however, on 6 bombs from deep. Next up, give me some Tyke Thompson. He, too, was feeling it from long range, scoring all 12 of his points from distance. He also finished with a team-best 7 rebounds while playing outstanding D out on the perimeter, chasing Evergreen's shooters all over the floor throughout the night. Finally, the wizard behind the curtain, the utterly superlative point guard for this squad, Jaden Nielsen-Skinner. Good heavens, what a find, what a get for Saints head coach Aaron Landon. This dude is a stone-cold stunner. Sure, his numbers don't always blow you away. He had 12 points and 6 assists that night, but hey, fans, look closer. Skinny has controlled the game basically every moment he's been on the floor for the past 2.5 games. He got those 12 points on a spectacular 5 of 7 shooting, also very economical. He got those 6 assists against 0 turnovers. Check this out. In his last 3 games, he has 22 assists and 5 turnovers. I'm going to repeat those numbers again for emphasis. 22 points and 5 turnovers. That's a 4.5 assist to turnover ratio. That is just stupid. That's the type of efficiency that a team can ride deep into the postseason, and that was a big part of why Saints head coach Aaron Landon was so happy after that game against the Gooey Ducks, with the nearly letter-perfect leadership of Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, who is playing just a breathtaking, astonishing brand of basketball right now. The rest of the roles on this team are really clicking into place. They've got strong guys. They've got quick guys. They've got guys who can shoot. They've got guys who can guard. This team is really beginning to pass the eye test. They if they keep humming along like this, they will continue to become more and more difficult to game plan for, which will be especially important once they return to the GNAC portion of their schedule, which they will do for good after tonight's game right here in Marcus Pavilion. We'll take a very quick break on the pregame show as time winds closer to the opening tip between the Saints and some invaders from the north, the Douglas College Royals, and we'll preview the Royals once we return. Keep it right here, folks. You're dialed in for the St. Martin's men's basketball pregame show on the St. Martin's Digital Network. And welcome back to the Saints men's basketball pregame show, and it is time for a quick look at tonight's opponent for the Saints. The Royals enter tonight's game with an overall record of 0-4, and I believe after tonight their record will still be 0-4. Pretty sure that while this game counts as an official win for the Saints, it is in fact an exhibition for Douglas. A couple of players to keep a keen and watchful eye on. How about Jarrett Jacobs, who has come off the bench in 3 of the Royals' 4 games, but does lead this team in scoring with nearly 18 points per game. Johnson Carez, who goes for 14.3 points per game, and Ben Rabel, who's averaging a double-double with an even 14 points and 10.3 rebounds per game. He's also the only player who has started all 12 games so far for the Royals. Now, it's a small sample size for Douglas at this point, to be sure. They can score a little, averaging 82 points per game through their first 4 games, but where they've really struggled thus far is at the defensive end of the floor. Their opponents are averaging basically a C note, 99.8 points per game. And while they can score, they're not shooting it particularly well. Just 39% from the floor, 28% from 3, and 69% at the foul line. They're very much a volume shooting team. They are not shy about getting their shots off, and they like to shoot it from deep, attempting nearly 35 threes per game so far this year. It's just that making those shots has been the issue for Douglas so far this season. Thing is, though, they come in tonight with literally nothing to lose. Remember, pretty sure this is an exhibition game for the Royals. They come in with a record of 0-4, and they'll leave with a record of 0-4. So really and truly, they cannot lose tonight. This team has some pieces, and sooner or later, those missed shots, well, they're going to start falling. And since the Saints can, in fact, lose tonight, as this game does count on their schedule, they'd be wise not to look past a team looking to level up against an NCAA Division II opponent here this evening. We will take our last break before tip-off. When we come back, we'll set the stage with some starting lineups and a few last thoughts on tonight's international showdown between the Douglas College Royals and the hometown St. Martin's Saints. This has been the St. Martin's basketball pregame show on the Saints Digital Network. Tip-off is coming up on the other side. And welcome back inside Marcus Pavilion, the final non-conference tilt of the schedule. On the schedule, rather, for the Saints this season. They come in tonight with an overall record of 7-3, looking to move to 8-3 before the holiday break. On the other side of that, GNAC action resumes. What a time to be alive, folks. Saints off to one of their very best starts in recent memory, and certainly the best start under Aaron Landon. This is just his second full season in charge at St. Martin's, but certainly he has got things very much turned around. 6 wins in his first season, already 7 so far in year number 2. Saints clad in their traditional home whites. Douglas coming out in the road grays. Jumping things up for Douglas, it'll be Luke Ilicic. Marky Adams does the honors for St. Martin's. We are underway after Adams controls the tip, taps it into the hands of Alex Schumacher. Saints moving it right to left to open things up. Adams in the high post, bodies up, goes to work. Will drop step down toward the baseline. Hesitates for just a moment, but after establishing clear position down in the post, able to lay it up and in. Our first points on the board for the good dudes. Illich down low, cut off along the baseline. That pass tipped by not one but 2 Saints defenders. Greeley and Schumacher got a piece of it. And the shot attempt blocked from behind by Brett Reed. The starting 5 for St. Martin's: Greeley, Schumacher, Nielsen, Skinner, Reed, and Adams. So Douglas ball out of bounds. 14 on the shot clock. Cumming thinks about it. They reverse it back around on the perimeter. Cumming on the drive, dumps it off. 3 on the way from Hutchison. Looks good, but it bounds off. Karam's out, and Kyle Greeley tracks down the rebound in the corner for St. Martin's. Douglas coming out in a 2-3 zone. Schumacher surveys, bounces a pass to Reed. Faces up, gets into the paint. Bodied from behind, leave it at the Saints' end. Our first foul of the game. That goes against Ben Rabel. The only dude to start all 4 games so far for Douglas on the season, averaging a double-double. Schumacher takes the inbound, raises from the short corner for 3. A little bit too strong. Greeley after the rebound, but it's covered up by Douglas. Back they come the other way. Cumming crosses over, gets to the free throw line where he's bodied up by a couple of Saints defenders. It is whistled against Alex Schumacher. Douglas 0-4 on the season. This, I believe, the only team from the states that they will play on the schedule this season. Doesn't actually even appear on their official schedule on their athletics website. That's why I'm all but certain this is, in fact, an exhibition game. Douglas does a nice job of setting up Ilicic in the post, but he clearly shuffled the feet before he got the shot off. So a couple of empty trips for the Royals to get things started. At 2-3 comes out to trap Nielsen. Skinner, he gets rid of it. Back to Schumacher, thinks about a 3. Now gives it back to Skinny. He'll try for 3 and bury it. Jaden Nielsen Skinner bombs away. He is shooting 53% on the season. That is a number that's relatively unheard of for a point guard. 53% from the floor. Those types of numbers usually reserved for the bigs on the floor. Make no mistake, Reed and Adams between them. Reed's a 61% shooter from the floor. Marky Adams, 69%. But to have your point guard shooting 53% from the floor, that is just spectacular. Ilicic does get free that time. He races in along the baseline, takes the bounce pass inside, leans back, and knocks home Douglas's first points. We are under 2 now here in the first half. So the very early goings of this game. Now Brett Reed with a little bit of space to maneuver. Gets into the paint. His shot no good. Gets his own. Adams with another offensive rebound, but he stumbles to the floor, tripping over a couple of players that were lying underneath the basket. It rolls out in front of the Douglas bench, but last touch by the Royals, so keep it with the Saints in 17 showing on the shot clock. Saints lead it 5-2. Schumacher to trigger. No look pass into the high post. They kick it back for Schumacher. He'll raise for three. A little bit too strong. Bounces high. It actually nicks the shot clock. So ball out of bounds to Douglas. Schumacher unable to connect on the first of his two shots. He's coming off a tough offensive performance. Just 2 points in his last outing. He was not exactly needed to score in that game as the Saints won by 29. But you know he'd like to get off here in this game. Now it's Greeley for a transition three. Wide open look. And Kyle Greeley drains that. And the Saints now with a lead at 8-2. Mason Cumming handles up top. They flip to the baseline. Ben Rabel raises from 14 feet along the baseline. Nice little mid-range jump shot from Rabel. Brings Douglas back within four, just over 3 minutes gone by now. Adams with the drop step, gets to the rack with impunity, raises up and lays it home. 16:45 to play, and the Saints with a 10-4 lead. Lucas Hutchison nearly loses it, hawked near the timeline by Schumacher. Into the high post for Ilicic. They work it back into the hands of Tegbier Kate. Coming with a couple of fancy dribbles, turns it over. Saints want to run. They've got numbers. Schumacher behind the back to Reed in transition. His shot sits on the rim, falls off. He'll head to the line. Saints had the 3-on-2 opportunity. That is the second foul whistled against Douglas here in the early goings. That one goes against Tegbier Kate. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing that name. I do not have a pronunciation guide to go with the Douglas roster. And we'll get our first substitution for Douglas as Ehi Obito checks in. 6'7" forward from Maple Ridge, just outside Vancouver. And Reed unable to connect on either free throw. That has been a troublesome spot for him, shooting about 35% on the season from the free throw line. Nice bounce pass inside. The newly checked in Obito after the rebound can't corral it. Look at the lob from Skinny to Schumacher, flying in from the weak side. Reed beneath the basket, but he walked with the basketball. Wave off the shot. Didn't see the extra step myself, but I was a little blocked off. And that'll bring us to our first stoppage in play. Saints with the early 6-point advantage. St. Martin's with the early 6-point advantage, just 4 minutes gone by in this contest. They're shooting an even 50% from the field. Half of their shots taken from beyond the arc. They're hitting 50% of those as well. It's Nielsen, Skinner, and Greeley, the two former teammates at Portland State, who transferred about 100 miles up the road to St. Martin's in the offseason. With the two shots from distance for the Saints to start this game. Saints in their 2-3 defense. Adams clogging the paint. Look at Brett Reed with the anticipation, races over, rips away the entry pass. In transition, it's Greeley with a wide open look, a little bit too strong. Long rebound, Karam's out for Obito. He'll wisely hand it over to Lucas Hutchison. Let him take care of the ball handling duties. However, Aaron Shigetti couldn't handle it. Nearly loses it in front of the Saints bench. They lob it inside, and Adams there to pick it off. Free safety style, just hanging back. That pass did not have a chance. You're not going to get that over. The 6'9" outstretched mitts of Marky Adams. There he is at the offensive end. Takes the quick entry pass from Schumacher. Set up perfectly by number 0. A quick turn to the basket. His 4-foot leaner is good from there. Adams perfect on his 2 attempts so far in this game. Obito turns from the elbow. Mid-range jumper will fall from about 16 feet. And Ehi Obito into the scoring ledger for the Royals. Schumacher's leaner from 11 feet in the paint. And now there's Schumacher into the scoring column. Missed his first couple, but knocks that one home. The Saints now with their biggest lead at 14-6. 5.5 minutes gone by in the first half. Here on the near side, it's Shigetti. To the elbow again. This time, the shot for Rabel. That falls off. Brett Reed covers up. And Nielsen Skinner will steer the offense the other direction. Behind the back for Reed. Couple of dribbles. Spins into the lane. Shot no good. Adams there for the offensive glass. Greeley had a shot at it, but it's stabbed away. And back come the Royals. Mason Cumming handles. They think about a pass to the corner. They reverse it back to Cumming. Slides to his left, picks up his dribble. Into the high post, it's Obito. And how about Ehi Obito? A moment ago he hit from one elbow. This time he hits from the other. So 2 mid-range jump shots for Obito. He's got the last 4 points. No look for Adams. He goes glass it in again. Alex Schumacher to Marky Adams for the 2nd time in a row. So at one end it's Ehi Obito hitting back-to-back hoops from opposite sides of the top of the paint. And for the Saints, back-to-back buckets from Adams. Both set up so perfectly by Alex Schumacher. Substitutions in for the Saints. We'll get our first look of the night at Tyke Thompson, Christian Hafner, Champ Spencer, and Velcho Ilic all into the game. A couple of subs onto the deck for the Royals as well, including Mason Barikoff. He handles here, goes between the wickets, kicks back outside. Shigetti on the drive, kicks to the corner. Not sure who number 13 is. I don't have a number 13 on the Royals roster. Hunter Thompson. Not on the oh, he's listed as a red shirt down at the bottom. I guess they've taken the red shirt off of Hunter Thompson. Long weak side rebound for Tyke Thompson. Howard Thompson keeps the possession alive for St. Martin's. He's in the corner, flips a pass way over the top for Spencer. Now Nielsen Skinner on the drive. No look for Ilic. Leaves it short, gets his own. One dribble and right back up. The jump hook won't fall. Rolls out of bounds, last touch by Douglas. 15 showing on the shot clock, 12.5 to play here in the first half. So Hunter Thompson connected on that last shot. The red shirt taken off of him. We'll give him the number 13. I wonder if his middle name is Stockton. Hope somebody gets that joke. Tyke Thompson standing on the sideline before he lets fly with the 3. Buries it, but was standing on the sideline before he let it go, so wave that one off. Our lead sits at 5 for St. Martin, 16-11, 12:27 to play. Discussion between the referees on the floor. Play will resume. A little bit of pressure picked up in backcourt by St. Martin's. They slowly drift back into that 2-3 zone. Ilic now clogging the paint. Barikoff crosses over, pulls up for the top of the key. Looked pretty good. Does rattle off. Nielsen Skinner picks up the loose change. Crosses over, gets to the rack, lays it up and in. Oh my goodness, Jaden Nielsen Skinner leaving everybody in his wake. 5 early points for the absolutely spectacular point guard for St. Martin's. Obito here on the near side, guarded by Spencer. Pass picked off by who else? Nielsen Skinner leaves it off for Thompson, raises and packs it with one hand. Back-to-back spectacular plays from Jaden Nielsen Skinner, and the Saints with their largest lead at 9. Obito from the elbow extended. Dumps it back off. Man, the Saints are looking so good so far in this game. Nearly a steal for Hafner. Spencer almost got a paw on that one. Barikoff rolls off the screen, nothing doing. Now it's Jagetti on the drive. Tough angled shot as he's fallen to the floor. Hafner scoops up the loose ball, races the other way, drifts to the wing, gets it back. He'll fire from deep. Oh, a little bit too strong. Elich after it. Obito in transition the other way, gets to the rack and lays it in. He was just sort of cherry picking on that one. So the easy bucket for Douglas draws them back within 7. 20-13 to play as we near the halfway point of the first half. Nielsen Skinner rips a pass across into the hands of Thompson. Back to Nielsen Skinner. Pump fake. Back outside. Champ Spencer from the top of the key. Drains it. And the Saints with their first double-digit lead tonight at 23-13. Another assist for Jaden Nielsen Skinner. This is such a special player, folks. He's going to be here a long time. Get used to seeing the absolutely astonishing play of Jaden Nielsen Skinner. Now pulling up for three, Mason Barikoff misses everything, rolls harmlessly out of bounds. And that will bring us to another stoppage in play. It'll be Saints ball out of bounds with a 10-point lead once we return. .16 left in the first half. St. Martin's with the ball and a 10-point lead. We'll get our first look at Goy Wang tonight. He checks in for the Saints. So the 5 on the floor. Champ Spencer, Velko Illich, Goy Wang, Tyke Thompson, and Christian Hafner. He dribbles across. Staggers back to his left. Now Champ Spencer controls. A whistle away from the ball. It's going against St. Martin's. Held against Velko Illich. So 2 fouls apiece. How about this number for the Saints? They've already got 6 assists from the combination of Alex Schumacher and Jaden Nielsen Skinner. 4 of those for Schumacher, largely setting up Marky Adams. But Nielsen Skinner with the last 2 assists in this game. So 6 assists already from the starting backcourt. Another air ball from the perimeter. Thompson there to cover it up. Quick outlet ahead, sets up Hafner, sets his feet, fires away, and buries a 3. Saints doubling up on Douglas, 26-13 with 9.5 to play in the first. Oh my goodness, you just cannot leave a cold-blooded shooter like Christian Hafner that wide open with that kind of time. He will bury you all day long. Cumming rolls off the high screen, steps between 2 defenders, gets all the way to the rack, switches right to left. His shot no good. The wild carom falls into the hands of Thompson. To the corner for Hafner. He drives now, drifts back out beyond the perimeter. Dumps it off down low for Illich. Goes to work, couple of dribbles. Right hand flips it up and in. 28-13 now. The Saints extend the lead to 15 under 9 to play. Everybody getting in on the act for St. Martin's in the early goings. Another steal, this one from Tyke Thompson. He will take it in, cock it back, lose control of the ball in midair, and it gets stuck at the top of the backboard underneath the shot clock. Oh my goodness, that was about to be the most spectacular play of the season. Instead, it's perhaps the most comical play of the season. Sometimes it bees like that. Oh, well. Oh, look at Chris Greger getting in on the act. Associate Athletic Director Chris Greger brings the ball onto the floor. We'll give Greger an assist, put that in the stat sheet. So another assist for the Saints backcourt as Chris Greger lodges that one. Well, the turnover gives it back to Douglas. They trail 28-13, 8:40 to play in the first half. Cumming comes to get it, picked up by Spencer. Drives on him, bodies him, and Spencer will be called for the foul on the floor. Cumming did kind of get his arm extended a little bit, and Spencer feels the same way. Nevertheless, it's whistled against him. That's the third on the Saints. Mason Cumming with it. Drifts to his left, picks up his dribble, needs help, finds it. How about Tekbir Kate firing away from deep? He'll knock home the three. Second three of the contest for Douglas. Hafner down to Spencer, gets it back. They reverse it to Goy Wang. Now that sets up Elich down low. Reverse it back outside for Hafner. He'll fire from three again. Christian Hafner drains his second three of the game, and he leads all scorers now with 6 points. Check that. Marky Adams has had 8 before he checked out of the game. So there is your scoring leader in the game, Marky Adams. But Hafner now right behind him with 6. Now Cumming from this side. Leaves the three about a foot short. It rolls out of bounds. And will bring us to another stoppage in play. 7:45 left in the first half, and the Saints continue to maintain a 15-point lead. (31-16) our score. We're going to get our first look at Marcus Linker here tonight as he will make his way into the lineup. Can't really miss him on the floor with those purple sneakers. It is Saints basketball out of bounds as we return to action. A little bit of token pressure applied in backcourt by Douglas. They'll fall back into their zone defense now. Hafner handles out here on the near side. Reed comes out to set the screen. Goy mishandles it, goes back to get it. Now Spencer. Linker in the corner. Reed bothered from behind and fouled. That one whistled against Ben Rabel. That's his second, I believe, and it is. So that's a tough foul for Douglas. Rabel, one of their best players, averages a double-double, 14 points, 10 boards. He has to take a seat with that second foul with 7:21 left here in the first half. So that's a big blow for Douglas, who already trailed by 16. Hafner, another three. A little bit too strong, but Reed after the rebound. Tracks it down, flips it up over the top for Spencer. He drives, steps back. Fall away 14-footer won't fall. Ball batted, last touch by Douglas. Should stay with the Saints, and it will. 20 seconds back on the shot clock for St. Martin. 7:08 to play. Reed goes to work down low, gets right to the lip of the rack. Oh my goodness, just too strong, too much and too strong. Brett Reed lays that in with ease. 33-16 our score. Cumming nearly loses control, able to recover the kick to the corner. Kate bodied by Wang on the floor, no shot. That's just the fourth foul on the Saints. So Douglas 0-4 on the season. I got to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about this particular Pac-West Conference. Providence University, Canadian Mennonite University, Langara. We did see Capilano down here a couple of years ago. In fact, I believe, I'm not mistaken, Aaron Landon, I got his first collegiate victory. His first NCAA collegiate victory. He had plenty of wins down at South Puget Sound in the NWAC before he made the move to St. Martin's. But his first win as an NCAA head coach, I believe, came at the expense of Capilano 2 years ago. I'm all but certain of that. So this is the second time in Aaron Landon's tenure that we've seen a team from this conference here inside Marcus Pavilion. Capilano got the best of the Royals a couple of times already this year, defeating the Royals 107-77 and 106-82. Here's Kyle Greeley beneath the basket, takes his time, waits for the defender to fly by, and knocks the shot home. The Saints now with their biggest lead at 19, 35-16. Barikoff, that pass nearly intercepted by Marcus Linker, who comes racing down the lane. It bounds off his knee out of bounds, couldn't corral it. Zaghetti back on as Kainth takes a seat. Linker nearly another steal. So good to see the activity from Marcus Linker. Barikoff comes out to take the inbound. Greeley comes to meet him. Hutchison takes it. Schumacher back on the floor. Between the circles, Lucas Hutchison calls out a play. Everybody flattens out. Now on the drive, Hutchison. Reed comes over to help out. One or the other, either Schumacher or Reed, got a hand on that shot. They deflect it, and then there's a foul, a loose ball foul committed by Luke Elich. That's his first, and the team's fourth. So a good defensive stand for St. Martin's. Linker was all over the floor for the first part of that possession. They wind up blocking the shot and inducing a foul. Now Linker for three in front of the Douglas bench. That one halfway down. Reed there for the offensive rebound and put back. And the Saints now lead it by 3 touchdowns, 37-16. Saints just exerting their will against this Douglas team. No let up at all. They have played absolutely sterling basketball. And here's a steal from Reed. Just comes and takes it. Gets to the rack. He's fouled hard. Takes a big spill. Looks like he's likely okay. He'll go to the free throw line. How about Brett Reed stepping out right in front of Aaron Landon, posted up in front of the scorer's table. Reed just said, I want that. Just took it straight away. Races the floor. The 6'8" transfer from Chaminade. That's a good-looking stroke from Brett Reed. 35% on the season. A little bit long on the second, so he's 1 for 4 at the line. The struggles at the free throw line continue, but every other part of his game has absolutely been just massively good. Now a foul here on the near side. It's going against Goy Wang. That's his second. And the 5th on the Saints. Under 5 to play. The Saints with their largest lead at 38-16. Hutchison slides to his left. Now he reverses it, but the pass goes right through the hands of Mason Barikoff. Just took his eye off it for a moment. It went through his hands, bounded off his chest, and up a few rows into the stands. Barikoff nearly gets the turnover in backcourt. Schumacher able to recover it. Races the other way, goes all the way to the rack, lays it in, but make it Brett Reed coming over with the tip-in off the Schumacher miss. I was anticipating Schumacher making that shot, but there's Reed to tap it home. 40-16 our score. Now Greeley with the steal. Numbers for the Saints. Greeley kind of lollygags his way to the rim, gets there. It rolls off the front of the iron. He will go to the line. Saints basically just toying with Douglas at this point, kind of batting him around like a cat with a ball of yarn. Oh, my goodness. This St. Martin's team is going to be so dangerous once GNAC play starts. I cannot wait to see what this team can do against the rest of the conference. They win this game, they will be 8-3 on the season. Things certainly playing out in their favor tonight. They lead it by 25 with 4.5 to play. Here in the first half, make it 26, 42-16 after Greeley cashes both free throws. Barikoff picked up at the top of the key by Wang. Now coming. Has it nearly taken away, and now it is! Kyle Greeley finds Schumacher into the open floor, raises for two hands, and throws it down. Saints just having their way. 44-16 our score as we near the 4-minute mark. Another steal, this one from Brett Reed. On the run out, he'll raise with two hands and throw it down. Oh my goodness, the punch party in full effect in Marcus Pavilion tonight. 46-16 our score, 3:53 to play in the first, and Douglas needs a timeout. We will be right back. (46-16 our score. Saints on a massive run at the moment. I believe it's up to 12-0. No, make it 13-0. I believe we sat at 33-16. I can't figure it out. Math was never my strong suit. Here's coming with it. Hawked by Wang. Bounces it for Kainth. Now they kick it back up top. Shigetti bluffs one way, comes the other. Long three, well off the mark. That one didn't have much of a chance. Elich there to cover things up for the Saints. Tyke Thompson steers it the other way. Greeley drifts to his left. They reverse it back to Thompson in the short corner. Now Wang will try for three. Why not? Goy Wang walks into a three and buries it. 49-16 our score with exactly 3 minutes showing in the first half. Oh my goodness. This Saints team is playing just unconscious basketball at the moment. Oh my goodness, I hope y'all are appreciating what you are seeing. This is so much fun. More good defense coming on the drive. Has it taken away, but a foul called. And oh no, a jump ball is called. I thought Wang picked up his third. Instead, it's a jump ball. It will stay with the Royals. But they now trail by 33, 49-16 with 2:42 to play in the first. Kainth to trigger. Nearly picked off. Now stepping into another mid-range jumper is Obito. He's been lethal from the mid-range. He was a perfect 3 for 3 before that miss. That one nearly went down. Now Greeley in the corner. Thompson gets it back. Now back to Greeley. Couple of lefty dribbles. Pulls up from 14. That no good. Another offensive rebound for Brett Reed, and he lays it back in. 51-16 the score. Oh my gosh. What can't this team do? Kainth for three. Leaves it short. Everybody leaking out. Can someone control it? They can. It winds up with Reed. Now Thompson will wait for his teammates. Wise move from Tyke Thompson. Bounces a pass to Brett Reed, who's filling the lane. That shot rolls up and in. 53-16 the score with 1:50 to play. Saints on at least a 20-0 run at the moment. And now a kick ball will reset things for Douglas for the moment as Christian Hafner will come back onto the floor, replacing Brett Reed, who with those last couple of buckets now has 13 points in this game, a team-high 7 rebounds and 4 steals for Brett Reed. Look at that stat line in 12 minutes of play. 13 points, 7 boards, 4 steals for the 6'8 transfer from Chaminade. Now coming with a wide-open look, and it misses everything. 3 Saints after the rebound, and one of them will be called for the foul. Let's see which one. That's going on Wang, and that's his 3rd. And the 6th on the Saints in the first half, so Douglas will be in the bonus for the final 100 seconds here. That's Hunter Thompson controlling. Looks into the high post. This is Obito. Launches from a spot that he's quite comfortable. That one falls off, and Kyle Greeley the rebound. To the corner for Hafner. Now Greeley. Wang in front of the Royals bench. 17 on the shot clock. Now Hafner for 3. That one bounds out. Another offensive rebound nearly for the Saints. It eventually rolls off of both of them and into the hands of Cumming. He'll slow things down as we hit the 1-minute mark of the first half. Cates from the Twin Star logo. Into the high post for Obido. Back to Cumming. Can he hit this 3? That one a little bit too strong. 2 Saints after it. It's batted back into the hands of Hafner. He'll run the break for the Saints. Drifts to his right. Gets it back into the high post. It's Greeley. Back to Ty Thompson for 3. Too strong. Elich, good box out from Obito. Able to keep Elich at bay. About 4-second differential between the shot clock. Douglas can work the time down if they want. They have not scored in a very long time. Obito at the elbow. Nearly another steal for Ty Thompson. Now Kate on the drive. Backs it out, picks up his dribble. Obito along the baseline. Flips a pass inside for Hunter Thompson. He can't handle it. Turnover will give it back to the Saints for the final 12 seconds of the first half. We'll sort out the numbers on what this run has been. Elich down low, no defense at all from Douglas. 55-16 is your halftime score. The first 20 minutes have been nothing but black and red. St. Martin's with a ridiculous 39-point lead as we head to the break. Folks, we'll take an extended break of our own here on the broadcast, but please rejoin us with about 3 minutes showing on your halftime clock for the St. Martin's men's basketball halftime show. We'll run through some first half stats and give you a look ahead at second half action between the Saints and the Royals. That's coming up with 3 minutes left on your halftime clock. And welcome into the St. Martin's men's basketball halftime show. It's Jeff Lucero alongside my executive producer, Sydney Henderson, on hand, stitching the whole broadcast together for us, bringing you all those great replays, including one, I believe, of Tyke Thompson going up to pack it with one hand, losing control of the ball midair, and having it settle between the top of the backboard and the shot clock. Yes, we did, in fact, replay that play just for fun. It's the holidays. It's a time of good cheer, my friends. Happy holidays, by the way, to everybody out there. 55-16 our halftime score. This one was, it was somewhat in doubt. It was 27-16 with 8.5 minutes left in the first half. Make it 28-16 at that point. And unfortunately for Douglas, they have not scored since. Meanwhile, the Saints have ripped off 27 unanswered points. It was a 28-16 contest at the 8:25 mark of the first half. And since then, 27-0 advantage St. Martin. So 55-16 our halftime score. The Saints just amazing point production across the floor. They're shooting 57.5% from the field. Only one player in double figures. That's Brett Reed, 13 points on 6 of 9 shooting. He's just been unguardable around the rim. He's also got a team-high 7 boards and 4 assists. Behind him, 8 points for Marky Adams on a perfect 4 for 4 from the floor. Kyle Greeley's got 7, half a dozen for Christian Hafner. Several other guys have already scored. The only Saint to step onto the floor in the first half and not score was Marcus Linker. Everyone else already into the scoring column. They're 6 of 15 from deep, 3 for 6 at the line. A decided advantage on the glass as well, plus 13. Saints out-rebounding Douglas 22-9. They've got 14 assists on 23 made baskets, 9 steals already in this game. Just 4 first-half turnovers for St. Martin's as well. Just wire-to-wire, basically, domination, especially in the last 8.5 minutes, which was basically just obliteration. St. Martin's with a 27-0 run to close the first frame. For Douglas, 6 points. That's your leading scorer. Ehi Obito's got that half a dozen points for Douglas. 3 points apiece for Hunter Thompson and Tegbir Kate, and a couple points apiece for Ben Rabel and Luke Ilicic. They're shooting 7 of 26 from the floor. That's good for 27%. 2 of 12, 17% from beyond at the three-point line. Well, I'm sure Douglas knew it was going to be an uphill climb tonight. They hung around for the first 12 or so minutes of this game, but the Saints just pouring it on relentlessly, just coming at Douglas in waves over the final 8.5 minutes of the first half. It is the Saints with the first touch here in the second half. The starting 5 back on the floor. No look pass flipped inside. Brett Reed could not control it. That might go as a turnover against Nielsen Skinner. Those have been so rare here of late. Came in tonight with 22 assists and just 5 turnovers in his last 3 contests. 4.5 assisted turnover ratio. Here's Kyle Greeley stepping into the passing lane, knocking it into the backcourt. He'll race it all the way up all by himself. And the first points go on the board in the second half. The lead now at 41, and the run continues. 29 unanswered points for the Saints. Kyle Greeley having himself a nice night. He drops down on that back line of the 2-3 zone. Down low, he tangles with Luke Ilicic. A foul before the shot. So it'll be ball out of bounds to Douglas after the foul committed by Kyle Greeley. That's his first in the game. The only player for either team in real serious foul trouble is Goy Wang. He picked up 3 personals in 10 minutes of play. Another steal. Now Schumacher races out. He'll finger roll it home. 31-0 run now for St. Martin's, going back to the 8.5-minute mark of the first half. They lead it by 43, 59-16. With about a minute and change gone by, another steal. Schumacher takes it away. Nielsen Skinner dumps it off for Greeley. Lays it up. No good. Reed there for the putback, but Greeley was fouled on his attempt. He will head to the line. So wave off Brett Reed's made basket as Kyle Greeley will go to the free throw line. Already 3 steals in the first minute and 20 seconds of the second half for St. Martin's. Just no let up from this side at all. Greeley leaves the first of 2 foul shots well short. That, by the way, was the 3rd foul whistled against Lucas Hutchison in the game. He remains on the floor for Douglas. Rabel, as you might recall, picked up his 2nd foul at about the 7-minute mark of the first half. I don't think we saw Rabel back on the floor after that. One of the best players on this Douglas team. Another steal. Nielsen Skinner with the 4th steal in the first minute and a half. Greeley gets his arm ripped down. No call. Nielsen Skinner able to recover the ball in the corner. He'll work it back toward the top, and the Saints will reset their offense. Now Schumacher. Nielsen Skinner to the high post for Reed. Faces up. Kicks outside. Greeley with plenty of time to fire away from 3, and he nails it. 34-0 the run now for St. Martin's. A 10.5-minute scoreless drought for Douglas. They trail by 47 in this game. Now Cates for 3. He scored the last points for Douglas. It was a 3 from him that brought them within 28-16. And now Nielsen Skinner the other way. He'll back it out. Stagger to his left. Cates comes to get him. Flips it back for Schumacher. Now Reed in the high post. Couple of dribbles. Works his way down. Steps around the defender. Goes one way, then back the other. And banks it home. Brett Reed with a team-high 15. Nearly another steal for Nielsen Skinner. Good heavens. These guys are everywhere. That 3 won't fall for Hutchison. And now Adams tangles up with Rabel. The held ball will keep it with St. Martin's. Take it with Douglas, excuse me. And we'll get a wave of substitutions for the Saints. All 5 starters will make their way off the floor. We might not actually see any of them for the rest of the night. Wouldn't surprise me. The Saints with a 49-point lead. Not a whole lot of sense in putting them back in unless Douglas does get within shouting distance. But we're going to get a lot of extra playing time for guys that are not in the starting lineup as 5 fresh bodies come onto the floor. Hafner, Thompson, Wang, Elich, and Spencer. Still in that 2-3 zone. Here's Rabel from about 14 feet. Able to knock that one home. Make it Elisic with that one. That is Luke Elisic with the make. Pardon me, not Rabel. Now Spencer with it. Wang handles in front of the Saints bench. A near steal for Douglas. 2-3 zone. Pretty much been deployed by Douglas for the entire contest. Now Champ Spencer gathers it and fires away from 3. 68-18 the score. So the Douglas scoreless streak finally, mercifully, comes to an end after Elisic was able to get that bucket. But they now trail by 50, and they turn it over again. Now Hafner from the top of the key. Of course. Another 3 for Christian Hafner. Just a smoking hot shooter the moment he walks in the gym. Can hit that shot in his sleep. Nice offensive set here from Douglas as Wang rotates back over. They found the soft spot in the zone along the baseline. That's Elisic racing the baseline, taking the shot, and draws the 4th foul of the game on Goy Wang. So he's 1 away from disqualification. It will bring us to a stoppage in play. The Saints now lead it 71-18. As we return to action, this is Ben Rabel at the free throw line. That last foul was Goi Wang's fourth. Again, he's a foul away from being DQ'd from this game. Rabel leaves the first of two free throws short. Hunter Thompson and Mason Barikoff back onto the floor for Douglas. And Rabel unable to connect on either foul shot, so our lead sits at 53, 71 to 18. Spencer looking inside for Illich. Now Wang in the high post. Spencer in the short corner. Now Hafner crosses over. Skip pass to Thompson. Fires away from deep with a shot clock set to expire. And Ilicic there for the rebound for Douglas. Good defense from the Saints. 7 on the shot clock. Now it's Jagetti on the drive. Leaves it off. Now Hunter Thompson thinks about a three. Now drives. Dumps it off. Ben Rabel from 16 feet along the baseline as the shot clock does go off. That falls off, and back come the Saints. Tyke Thompson on the drive. Skips for Hafner. Illich down low. They work it back. Saints content to just work around the perimeter of this zone until a soft spot opens up, reveals itself. Now here's Thompson. Crosses over, rolls off the high screen from Illich. Kicks back for Champ Spencer. Fall away three is good. Champ Spencer buries another three-pointer. Saints lead threatening 60. 74 to 18 our score. About 14 minutes and change left here in this contest. Saints are going to go 8-3 before the holiday break. They resume GNAC action here at home New Year's Day. They'll match up with Western Oregon January 1st. So a lengthy layoff after tonight. In exactly 2 weeks it'll be before the Saints are back in action. That foul, by the way, assessed to Veljko Illich. That's his second, a third on the Saints. So, by the way, that Saints run extended all the way to 40-0. 40 unanswered points for the Saints. Now Hafner with the mid-range floater. That will fall. Saints can't miss tonight. Now shooting 64% from the floor. They've shot it even better here in the second half than they did in the first. They were nearly impeccable in every spot on the floor in the first half. And now look at Ben Rabel getting loose. Make it Luke Ilicic, excuse me. Those two guys look a lot alike. That was Ilicic racing it along the baseline. He raises and packs it with one hand. So this Douglas team still out here scrapping. That's not going to take that away from them at all. They're going to play hard. Wang leaves it for Hafner. Now Spencer will try for three again. Just a little bit too strong. But it winds up back with Champ Spencer as Goi Wang was able to keep it in play. No look pass for Illich. Hafner dives to the hole. Instead it's Spencer again. His third three will fall. Make it his fourth three-pointer of the game. My goodness, 79-22 the score, 12:25 to play. Going to take anything away from Douglas right now. This Saints team is just this good right now. They are playing some utterly breathtaking basketball. They are on an absolute tear, just a rampage, like Sherman through Atlanta, burning down everything in their path. Here's Thompson. Hesitates. Now skips it for Hafner. Now Elich down low. A little hesitant to make a move. Now Christian Hafner on the drive. His off-balance leaner won't fall. Under 12 to play. Ilicic from 16, that won't fall. By the way, we've yet to see Johnson Carez. He's the second leading scorer on this Douglas team. Assume he just was not available for tonight's game. So that's a tough loss for Douglas. He was averaging about 15.5 points per game for this Douglas team coming in tonight. And he is yet to see the floor, so likely out with an injury. And how about that little lob? Thompson sets up Elich as he gets above the fray. And a whistle by a little referee's timeout. It will bring us to a stoppage in play. 10:59 left in this one. And it's All Saints. It's All Saints Day here on the St. Martin's Digital Network. Well, this is the largest lead of the game for St. Martin's. 59 points, 81-22 is the score. However, it's nowhere near what we saw last night between Georgia Southern and Carver College in women's basketball action. Georgia Southern defeating Carver 133-15. That is a 118-point loss for Carver College in women's basketball action just last night, or a few nights ago, excuse me. We won't get anywhere close to that, but it has been a Saints clinical, tactical, surgical performance to this point. Mason Barikoff was skipping toward the paint, actually got to the rack and laid it in, but the whistle was blown well before that, so wave off that shot. It's ball out of bounds for the Royals. Now Hunter Thompson steps into a three. That one well strong. Champ Spencer there to clear it for St. Martin's. Schumacher back on the floor. Actually, Marcus Linker back out there as well. And we're getting our first look tonight, too, at Cody Schramm. Number 33, the freshman from Chelan. Linker dumps it off for Schumacher. Obito comes out to get him. Rolls off the Schramm screen. Now it's Hafner from the deep corner for three. That one no good. Cody Schramm there for the offensive rebound and putback. And Schramm is on the scoreboard for the Saints. And they have their biggest lead of the game at 61 with exactly 10 minutes left to play. Things very festive, very cheerful. Nothing but good cheer here inside Marcus Pavilion for the Saints. Good drive there from Mason Cumming as he angles in. A little off balance, but able to finish. Hafner thinks about the three, instead dumps it off inside for Schramm. They work it back, reverse it for Spencer. He'll try for three again and bury it. Champ Spencer with his fifth three-pointer of the game. He might walk out of here with team-high scoring honors tonight. He's got 15. In fact, that does tie him with Brett Reed. They've got 15 points apiece to pace the Saints. Still staying in this 2-3 zone. It's worked all night. Why come out of it? Schramm down there in the middle. Up top, it's Schumacher and Hafner. Linker and Spencer out on the wings. 3 no good for Barikoff. Obito, the offensive rebound, keeps the possession alive for Douglas. Now Cumming can't connect from the wing. 62-point lead for the Saints. Schumacher skips toward the paint, now kicks back for Spencer. His 6-3 won't fall. Rebound finally cleared out by Obito. So looking ahead for the Saints once again. They're off for the next 2 weeks. They won't play again until they welcome the Wolves of Western Oregon. Kind of a funny deal. Western Oregon with the worst overall record of any team in the GNAC. They're just 3-7 on the season, but they're 2-0 and sit atop the GNAC rankings. They're the only team that's 2-0 in the GNAC. So despite having the worst overall record at 3-7, they're in first place in the GNAC at 2-0. So that's going to be a marquee matchup to kick things off in the new year. At the other end, that was Tegbir Kainth connecting on his second 3 of the game. Now Marcus Linker from in front of his own bench. Schramm taps it around, but a little bit too strong on the putback. Good to see the activity from the youngster, Cody Schramm, the true freshman from Chelan High School. Barikoff looking inside. Saints had 5 steals in the first 3 minutes of the second half. There was just no let up at all. Here's Kainth for 3 again. Give it up for Tegbir Kainth. That's his 3rd shot from distance that he's connected on tonight. And he now leads the Royals with 9 points here in the game. They trail 86-30 with 7 to play. They leave it off inside for Schramm, and he's got a career-high 4 points. I believe that was Schumacher setting him up. Saints have done a fantastic job of just moving the ball, distributing it all night long. Setting teammates up in the right spots. Now Kainth for 3 again. That one a little bit too short. The heat check won't fall. And now a substitution timeout called by Aaron Landon to get Schumacher out of the game and Elich back in. And it'll stretch to a full timeout. 88-30 our score. 6:31 to play. So the Saints got to 55 points in the first half on the strength of 57% shooting. In the second half, they're shooting 65% from the floor, 13 of 20. They just refuse to cool off. Don't blame the Saints for being this good. This is not a mirage. This team is going to be so dangerous in the GNAC. Schumacher actually stays in the game. It's Goy Wang who came off the floor. Now Linker for 3. He's the only Saint that's yet to score. Unable to do so there. And Hutchison steers it back the other direction for the Royals. Hunter Thompson. What a great name. Obito can't connect on the fadeaway 14-footer near the baseline. Things cleared out by the Saints. Under 6 to play now. Champ Spencer, 5 threes in this game, a team-high 15 points. Good defense here for Douglas. Forces the turnover. Linker tries to whistle a pass inside for Schramm. It goes right through his hands and out of bounds. At one of the better defensive sets here in the second half for Douglas. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 88-30 the score, 5:37 to play in the final Saints home game of 2021. Well, this one has not been in doubt from the jump. The Saints have never trailed in this game. They now lead it 88-30. That lead has grown as high as 62 points here tonight. Sits at 58 with 5.5 to play. Kate's back on the floor for Douglas. Thompson flips the pass to him. They bounce it inside. Ben Rabel can't control it, but it's last touched out of bounds by Champ Spencer. So 13 on the shot clock for the Royals. And Kate to trigger the inbound for Douglas. Slaps the ball. Finds Rabel in the corner. They work it back outside. Shot clock under 10. Kate finds Rabel in the high post. Racing the baseline. It's Obito. That's a fantastic offensive set. That's a great job of breaking down the Saints zone defense. They just methodically, patiently work things down. The shot clock under 5, and Obito there with the reverse. He cashes it in. Cody Schramm turns, faces, fires, no good. Rebound, Marcus Linker goes glass, high off the glass. Schramm there for the putback. And how about Cody Schramm now with half a dozen points in this game? 90-32 the score. Going to be fun to watch the youngster from Chelan develop half a dozen for him here tonight. It's an awkward-looking shot when Thompson releases. He did hit a three earlier in this game. Back before I even knew what his name was, because he was listed as a redshirt on the roster provided by the college. Was not listed on the active roster. He did bury a three, but unable to connect on his last few. Now Elich down low. Set up perfectly by Cody Schramm. The offensive juggernaut, Cody Schramm. He's just working on his night moves out here. We are at the under 4 mark, 92-62 our score, and we'll take a timeout. Welcome back inside Marcus Pavilion for the final 3 minutes and 48 seconds of Saints basketball in 2021. They lead it 92-62. Schumacher steers it across the timeline. Little pressure applied by the Royals. Elich backs it out. Now into the hands of Schumacher. He looks inside for Schramm for the moment. Now Linker raises for three. Rainbow, tons of arc on that thing. Schramm after the rebound, but it's tracked down by Kate. He'll steer it back the other way for Douglas. Handles between the circles, dumps it off for Thompson. Now it's Rabel raising from 14 feet along the baseline. Linker saves it inbounds to Schumacher. Elich in the high post, faces up. One dribble gets out of the paint. Schramm now will raise. Linker there for the offensive rebound. Steps around the defender, but he's unlucky on the putback. But he gets the steal, gets right to the rack, and lays it in. Every safe player now in the scoring column. How about the effort from Marcus Linker? Would it not be denied? Good stuff. Every Saints player now with at least one bucket on the night. Double team. Down along the baseline. Hems in. Hutchison able to get rid of it, but now Linker with the steal on the run out. Has it stripped momentarily. Dumps it off for Schramm. And now Schumacher will reset everything with 2 minutes showing on the game clock. Linker down low for Schramm. Dumps it off for Elich. He goes glass and lays it in. Another assist for Corey Schramm. Fans, I apologize. I've been calling him Cody this whole time, but folks, that's what's on my roster. I wish you could see it right in front of me. Number 33, Cody Schramm, that's what's here. Tough look inside for Luke Ilicic. Patiently gets to the rim and lays it in. Saints led it by 64 a moment ago. That is their largest lead of the game. Minute 20 left. The only thing in doubt is whether the Saints will reach 100. Now Linker for three. That one rolls out, but Schumacher there for the offensive rebound. Looking inside, now leaves it back outside for Linker. Pump fakes, now drives, gets into the chest of Kate, lays it up off glass and in. And Marcus Linker with back-to-back buckets. And the Saints now within one more bucket of hitting the century mark. We're under a minute to play. Saints with their largest lead of the night. That shot from the elbow from Rabel won't fall. Saints cover up. 45 seconds to play. Going to move to 8-3 the first half of the season. Spencer for three. Rolls out. Schramm there tracks it down and keeps the possession alive. Linker kicks back up top for Schumacher. 12 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Schumacher slides to his right. Leaves it for Linker. Raises for three from the corner. Oh, it pops out. And that will do it. We're at 10 seconds, and after Schumacher corrals and secures the rebound, that will conclude tonight's action. The Saints win by their largest margin of the season and of the night. 98-34, a 64-point, very convincing wire-to-wire victory for St. Martin's. Fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be joined by Saints head coach Aaron Landon. You're sick of hearing from me. Let's hear from the man in charge, Aaron Landon. Will be coming up to share some final thoughts of 2021 on the other side of this break. And welcome back inside Marcus Pavilion for the Saints men's basketball postgame show. And we are joined, as always, by head coach Aaron Landon. And, Coach, one thing, there's not a ton that there's not a lot to really dwell on in this game. Obviously, you guys came out and did exactly what you were supposed to do. But I do want to talk about one thing. I'm not sure you're aware of this. You closed the first half on a 27-0 run, and it extended for another 13 points into the second half. Coach, you had a 40-0 run in this game that lasted about 11 and a half minutes. That's just not something you see very often.
Yeah, and they missed some shots that were open. That's obviously not all great defense, but our guys were playing really hard, and in a game like that, we got a big lead early on, and credit Douglas, because they're not afraid to come down and make that long drive and come down I-5 and play. I give their head coach, Matt McKay, a ton of credit. Like, he hit me up for the game, and he wanted it, and that's awesome.
Yep.
That's the way, I want to be with our guys. Like, that's why we go down and play Oregon State and those Division I games. Like, you want to play up and challenge your guys. And so it's awesome that he wanted to come down and get his guys the experience of playing up. But as far as the run goes in a game like that, once you've separated and you have some separation, just keeping the focus defensively. Just told them offensively, just share it and play unselfish. Don't really care what we run. But just defensively, because that's been an issue for us in the Division II games that we've lost, just stay focused. So just wanted to keep our foot on the gas on the defensive end without extending, or pressing. So, yeah, guys, we're locked in.
And you still did so many other things well in this game. You're plus 25 on the glass. That's just a staggering mismatch. 43-18, you out-rebound this team. You also commit just 6 turnovers on the night. You took care of the ball really, really well.
Yeah, I thought guys in these last 3 games, which, again, they're not Division II opponents, but they've just made it a point to share it. Tyler watches film and does his own statting of non-box score stuff. His big thing is pass per possession. And after that Alaska game, we had to have sort of a hard conversation as a team because we don't have selfish guys, but we were playing selfish, and we were only averaging like 2.3 passes per possession. So we really made that an emphasis of just sharing it. Guys don't do that intentionally, but sometimes just wanting to attack, it can be our worst enemy. So, yeah, guys have been awesome sharing it, and it was just great to get a lot of guys playing time tonight.
Well, we frequently wind up talking about some of the same sort of rotating 3 to 5 guys in the postgame show. Let's talk about tonight, because you had the opportunity to get extended minutes out on the floor for so many different dudes. Let's talk about the performances that you got out of 3 reserves in particular. I want to talk about Veljko Ilić, because he wound up with double figures tonight, 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting. Let's also talk about the 2 freshmen. Champ Spencer led the team in scoring, 15 points tonight. He hit 5 more threes this evening. And Corey Schramm, who came off the bench, had 6 points, 4 boards, and 2 assists. Talk about each of those 3 guys, because they're guys that we seldom have the opportunity to chat about them because they don't play nearly as big a role as the starters do. But they came in, gave you a ton of great minutes tonight. You wrung a ton out of everyone on this team tonight. Let's talk about those 3 in particular, though.
Yeah, so Champ first, just because he's at the top, higher on the box score I'm looking at. He was the first guy that we signed last year. We feel really connected with him. He comes in and works every single day. He's in this gym, and he's up here right behind us, lifting like crazy. And he's awesome. He's a guy that's got a super bright future. He can obviously shoot it, and he's got a college body already. He's like 6'7", probably about 210, 215 pounds. He's got the shoulders of like a power forward. He can shoot. And so, we watch him play every single day, and he's so skilled offensively. But we just look at him like, man, wait till you figure out how to use that body. He'll be really, really special. Veljko's been awesome for us. Because he's sort of had to be patient with 2 really, really good post players in front of him with Markey and Brett. And those guys are also seniors, so that's hard to just come in and chop wood and carry water and not get to play in a lot of the games. But he obviously has been ready when we've put him in. Yep. And just, thought that he was awesome tonight. And then Corey's so cool. He's a walk-on that came. He's an engineering student, so he's way, way smarter than both of us combined.
Well, that's not saying a lot, but
no doubt.
The point's well taken.
Yeah, he'll make an incredible amount of money just being, super smart as an engineer.
Yeah.
And so those guys, when they come, you tell an engineering walk-on, just make sure that you get good grades because that's where your future's at. And he comes and he shoots on the shooting gun every single day, and he works with our guys. I mean, I would say right now, he's in the top 5 in terms of extra time in the gym, which just says that, he loves basketball. And he's not in it for, playing time. He's a quiet guy. But we were watching him tonight, and just all of his defensive positioning. He listens to everything that you're saying and absorbs it, and he doesn't forget anything, which is probably what engineering majors are like across the board. We just don't have too many in the basketball program. So, yeah, he was awesome, and I'm just looking at it like no turnovers, a couple of assists, 4 offensive rebounds. Mm-hmm. So he's getting you extra possessions, he's sharing the ball, and he's scoring it at 50% from the field. We have that value point system that we run, and he's going to have a freakishly high number come next week when Wesley updates the spreadsheet.
That's good stuff. I got one more stat I want to throw at you. You turn them over 20 times, but 17 of those were steals tonight. 17 of their 20 turnovers came on steals. How about that? You guys were just anticipating so well. You stepped into passing lanes. I don't know if that was something you worked on, but I'll tell you, it looked like a cheat code out there of some kind. 17 steals on 20 turnovers. That's nuts.
What we did work on, and you saw it in the end of the first half, was we were trapping all ball screens, and you never have as much time as you want. And we've been working on trapping ball screens so that we have different ways we can defend teams and defend ball screens different ways. And say, well, you're just working on that in December. Well, yeah, we play so much zone, and we want different defenses. We've been flat hedging and showing a lot, but being able to trap and be more aggressive, that's going to be something that we need for the really good guards in the conference. So we've been working on that, and guys did an awesome job with that tonight. But, yeah, we just want to have more of an aggressive look that we can throw at ball screens. She's fast.
Here we got a couple of future Saints running up and down the floor. I believe one of them might even be related to head coach Aaron Landon here. Hey, real quick before we let you go, you got a 2-week break, and the thing is, though, we jump right back into the GNAC with who kind of almost out of nowhere is suddenly the number 1 team in the conference. Western Oregon has the worst overall record. They're 3-7 on the season, but they're in first place in the GNAC, 2-0. All of a sudden, that game means so much as we set our sights squarely on the conference play, on the conference schedule going forward. Let's talk for just a moment before you go about that Western Oregon game, because it's going to be an absolute barn burner here at Marcus Pavilion on New Year's Day.
Yeah, we really want to win that game.
Oh man, yeah.
Our first year here, they took it to us pretty good, and a little bit extra, and now they've got 2 conference wins, and the non-conference doesn't matter. If we win that game, then told our guys we're 2-1 and we're in a log jam for first, and if we lose that game, we're 1-2 and we're on the bottom side. So it's really early, but going 1-0 on New Year's Day, that's really, really important for what we want to do. And Western Oregon's fearless offensively. They scored a ton that weekend against the Alaska teams. And, that would just be a really meaningful win for a lot of reasons. And so I'm just looking around this week. I had 4 high school games I had on my list to go watch. All get canceled because of COVID.
Oh, man.
I'm a UCLA fan, and, they're losing their games.
Yep.
NFL, NBA, this stuff is back. It's everywhere. And it's just hard because you want to come in and prepare for that game. I'm just happy that we got a chance to play college basketball today.
No doubt.
And, our biggest thing getting ready for that game is just going to be, can we get back? Can we test negative? And can we have our full team on New Year's Day?
Yep. Well, there's a lot of time between now and then. A full fortnight will pass before we get to see you guys back in action here. In fact, it'll be a brand new year that day when we next see you back on the floor here. But certainly, Coach, want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and hope for a very safe and healthy holiday break for you, the staff, the squad, everybody. So definitely go and enjoy a couple of weeks off, but we cannot wait to see you back in here against the Wolves on New Year's Day.
Me neither. We're excited for that one. I'll see you on New Year's. Have a wonderful holiday.
Outstanding. All right. Thanks so much, Coach Landon, for stopping by. and hanging out with us for a few moments. It's always good to hear from someone that actually matters around this program. Holy smokes, I'm so tired of the sound of my own voice. And, folks, you won't have to hear it for quite a while. We do not get back into it for quite some time to come. It'll be men's basketball action. Man, I cannot wait for that game. I'm just champing at the bit for that one. Going to kick things off once again as we restart GNAC play with Western Oregon. First place Western Oregon. What a game that'll be. 7 o'clock right here in Marcus Pavilion. The women's team is in action that weekend as well, but they are on the road. First at Simon Fraser on Thursday, the 30th, and then on New Year's Day they'll be in Bellingham to take on Western Washington. They do have a game that's been rescheduled. They were, of course, going to play Alaska back in the opening weekend, first weekend in December. That game got postponed. It'll be made up January 4th. Mark that one on your calendars as well. That's Tuesday, January 4th, when the women return to action here in Marcus Pavilion. But before that, gear up, folks. 2 weeks from now, St. Martin's takes on Western Oregon in an absolute early GNAC season showdown. 2-0 Western Oregon coming in to kick things off New Year's Day. For the Saints, they shoot 55% for the game, 39% from three. They did out-rebound Douglas by an advantage of 25 boards, turned it over just 6 times. This was just a stellar and sparkling performance from this team, wire to wire. Folks, that's going to do it here on the broadcast. If you'd like to take a look at the stats, they are all available on the website. You can go back and watch any of these broadcasts on our St. Martin's YouTube Athletics channel. So on behalf of Sydney Anderson, our executive producer, and everyone here in the St. Martin's Athletic Department, this is Jeff Lucero signing off for the final time in 2021. Everybody have a safe, warm, healthy, safe, and healthy holiday season. Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy New Year. We'll see you back here in 2022 for the resumption of St. Martin's basketball. Good night.